Because like you said, when you go to the doctor, they want to keep, they're like, you're fine. And you're like, no, I'm throwing up every day. Or like, I can't be okay. Like,
why did that make me laugh? I'm throwing up every day. And they'll just tell you you're fine until they need to do surgery. You're fine. Oh, now we need to cut on you.
You're
well,
like,
wait a minute.
What?
What's in the middle here? We missed a step.
Remember when we kept just pacifying you with all those antibiotics? Now you have a cancer, a stomach one. So we got to remove it.
Yeah.
And we have to do an invasive one, not a non-invasive, actually.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they told us they call it practicing medicine. So they just trial and error. They just practice it. Because they only have 10 minutes with each person. So they're like, okay, let me just, all right.
Now I'm going to make them spend more time with me.
I know, Shondalia.
They hate to see me coming. They like,
I was about to say they hate to see you coming.
I can't eat shit. Hello, and welcome back to season 2 of I Can't Eat Shit podcast. I'm your host, actress, comedian Shondalia White. And yeah, people, I can't eat shit. And you know, the shit is annoying. I started I Can't Eat Shit podcast because I was secretly ill for many years. People asked me a lot of questions about it, so now I'm healed and I'm ready to talk about it. But for season 2, I'm bringing in some friends and experts to help me talk about this stuff. And today, I have the very beautiful and talented actor, stand-up comic. She is a holistic health consultant and just all-around giving person, lovely person, Tanjareen!
Hey, what's up, Shondalia? Thank you for having me.
Of course. And we will be talking about being a partial vegan and adventurous foodie. So let's get into it.
Oh, it's nice in here. Nice studio, Shondalia. It's beautiful. I love the colors.
Oh, thank you. Welcome to the podcast, Tanjareen.
Hey, I love your podcast, by the way. And I love how professional it is and how organized and how you do your little segments. You are just the cutest and just, you're about your business. I mean, I love it. I love it.
Hey, now, thank you. I appreciate that. Your voice is so nice. It's so sultry. I'm, listening to it in the headphones.
Oh, thank you.
I'm like, oh, I love this.
Thank you. That's why we're both voiceover artists as well.
There we go.
Yes.
I was just about to say that. Like, ooh, I hear what they hear. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Well, you guys, just so you know, I know Tanjareen from the comedy world, of course, and also the acting world, but really primarily the comedy world. I know you're acting, though. I don't know if you know this. I saw your short long time ago. You had like a short series or like a short. It was like I remember seeing it. This was like a long time ago. Now
the answer is yes, but I don't know which one you're referring to, so I'm waiting for the details.
It was like the girl was like a sex addict or something.
Oh, the Celibate Nympho Chronicles.
Celibate, yeah.
They're available here on YouTube, and they're also unedited on, I believe I have them on my OnlyFans, but the Celibate Nympho Chronicles is a comedy about me trying to abstain from sexual activity for 100 days.
Yes, it was so good. I remember
Thank
watching
you.
this a long time ago, actually before I even think we became like friends. So
wow.
Just so you know, I am also a fan.
That's crazy. I think I did that in like 2010.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
15 years, y'all.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It was a long time ago. Very crazy. But I wanted to have you on the podcast because, of course, you're like a vegan advocate. You're 80% vegan, 20% mind your business. You see the merch. You see the shirt.
Yes.
You see the merch shirt. Yes. And you just always talk about diet. We always end up talking about diet and health, and you pretty much are like a health advocate as well. So I just had to bring you on here to just kind of talk to you about it because I don't think we've actually gone in depth about it. We just kind of be like, yeah, girl, we on the same page. You know what I mean?
Girl, because I'll be talking to you and you be telling me what you just went through this week. And I'm like, you really can't eat anything. And I'm like, I'm very close to that. I've finally figured out what works for me. And I know that most people in my life would be like, whatever, I'm eating that. I'm like, okay, I can look at you and tell you're eating that. And you probably should stop. So people be sick and they just keep doing it. I'm like, you have all these medications and you worried about, going to the doctor and you don't have to eat like this.
You don't have to do this to yourself.
Heal yourself. But
yes, you can heal yourself. So we're going to jump right into the questions then. Tell me what made you adapt this lifestyle because you're pretty much a plant-based eater, correct?
Yes,
with sometimes mind your business with the fish, but yeah.
Or I don't say what the mind your business is. So every now and then it could be a salmon or a whitefish, or it might have a baked good might have actual egg whites in it or something. Like it could vary. It could be a butter that was cooked in something. The point is, I'm not as strict because I don't call myself a vegan, because veganism is a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. It's how you dress. You can't have leather seats in your car. You can't have leather Jordans. You can't go to a circus, because they're abusing the animals. And you can't go to the zoo because they're in cages. Like, it's a whole thing. And people are very judgmental. Why are you wearing that jacket? It's made out of wool or silk or, So I did it because more people have died from degenerative diseases than were killed in our slave trade. So we're doing it to ourselves. And I was like, well, let me reverse this in my family. So I talked to my family about it. My mom is always on, trying to call me when something's wrong with her, as opposed to me calling her for something when I'm sick. My mama will call me and I'm like, take some garlic clove, mama, and put this. So my mom is all into the turmeric here and this, that, and the other, and some lemon. And so I just wanted to heal, and it was the animal second. Most people that are not of color usually care about the animals. I was actually shocked Tony Baker does it for the animals, but I'm like, you're the only Black person I know to do it for the animals.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I was shocked when he told me that.
We got to look out for ourselves as Black people, because we're dying from so many other things and challenges. But originally, I'm not eating red meat. First, it was no pork, because everybody stops with that first when they're trying to be healthy. Then it was no red meat, so I stopped the beef. That was in like 9th grade. So I was all chicken and fish through high school.
That's a long time.
Girl, yes. My mom, when I was 7, and one of the years that she left my dad, because she would leave my dad every other year and come back. One of the years that she left my dad, she was living with a roommate in Northern Cali who was a vegan. And she was telling me how maggots come out of meat when you leave it out in the sun on the sidewalk. She was like, how are maggots inside to come out? And I was a little 7-year-old girl like, oh my God, that sounds so gross. So it was always in the back of my head. Then when I was in the 9th grade in high school, we would have a aerobics teacher come in, and she was so energetic, bright whites in her eyes, and just so fit and tight and fun. And she was vegan. And I was like, okay, these are my vegan examples. And so by the time I got old enough to make my own food, I was like, let me cut out some more things. And then I was, I'll just cut the story to shorter, but basically I started by doing the lemonade cleanse, the master cleanse of the cayenne pepper, the water, and the lemon that Beyonce does whenever she's about to go on tour and wants to get in shape real quick.
Okay.
You're supposed to do it for 3 days, but you can do it up to 30. So I did it I tried 7 and I stayed on for 10. And the guy I was dating at the time decided to do it with me. And in the middle of it, I said, you know what, when I finish this, I'm not going to go back to eating animal products. And he was like, what? That's a big step. And I was like, yeah, I think my body feels really clean. I've lost a lot of weight. I think I just want to stick to fruits, vegetables, grains. He was like, well, if you do it, I do it. So together we did the 10 days. We started being vegan. I didn't trust going to eat anywhere because the oils, the butters, and this. So I didn't know how to cook. So I would call my friends and say, how do you make such and such? Then I would substitute the ingredients, and then he would pay me because he was on a TV show and he had a whole lot of money. So he would write a check and write catering in the memo line and pay me to cook for him. And so I would figure out how to make stuff vegan and cook it and drop it off at his house. And that was the beginning in the year, many, many years ago. That was the beginning of my veganism journey.
Oh my gosh, I literally was going to ask you today, because you have parties there where you literally are catering your own party. And I was like, have you been a caterer? I literally was going to ask you that, because I'm like, this is a lot of food. It's hard to cook large batches like that. And you do it every single year, multiple times a year, right?
Yeah, this past Thanksgiving was my 20th annual Thanksgiving celebration. And this will be the 4th year that I did the Christmas celebration. And people come over, when they see how big the trays, the big pans up, they assume I got it catered, and they don't think that I cooked it, but they don't know I didn't go to sleep the night before, because I don't use preservatives, so I don't cook stuff ahead of time and have it sit in the fridge, and I don't have space in my freezer, so I cook it early that morning and serve it fresh. But yeah, it started from that dude I was dating. He was like, we got to eat something and we can't trust the restaurant, so can you make it? And I was like, so in love, sure. Hey girl, how you make collard greens? Okay. All right. How you make mac and cheese? All right, I'm gonna tell you
how you make collard greens.
I'm gonna take all that stuff out of there that you just said. I'm gonna put this other stuff in it.
That is so funny. Honestly, that's what I do, and there's another way to do that. Like as you know, like I literally started that because I had to learn how to make food based on my restrictions, and I've had my diet change so many times based on whatever was happening that year. Yes. With my gut, until I fully figured out, like, okay, I'm literally gonna have to like redo my entire gut. But that's where it all started. Like with, okay, let's substitute this for this. Because when you go out, it's literally what you're saying. When I go out, it's so difficult because there's so many things that people don't really think to not put into something, because depending on what's going on with your gut, most people can't handle it either. But when you look it up, the information is there. It literally says like, this causes inflammation, this causes that, and I'm like, so why they still using it?
Because it's cheaper. Yep. And it's making them money.
Yep.
And it's wild to me that our country allows so many chemicals, so many things that we know are carcinogenic into our foods, into our skincare, into our cleaning supplies, our detergents. And they're just like, yeah. And they tell us, well, it's such a small amount, it's not going to affect you. But if you have a small amount from everything you're doing every single day, by the time you get older, then you're the next hashtag of F cancer. And it's like, well, I didn't have to have this if y'all would just serve me some stuff that's wholesome.
Tell them. This is it. That's it. We on the same page.
Yes, girl.
It's so funny. Every time we talk, we end up seeing how similar we actually are, which is, I think, is hilarious. Because we don't realize it. And then we'll talk more and we're like, oh my gosh.
Me too.
Every time. That's so funny. I love it. I knew this was going to happen. Yay. So why did you throw in the gluten-free then? Was it like for vanity? Was it for, because you can lose weight pretty quick with gluten-free? Or did you actually find out like, oh, I can't eat gluten?
Good question, Shondalia White. I became gluten-free because I had really clear skin when I was on the birth control pill, when I was fast in school. And then when I was realizing how harmful the actual pill was, I got off of it and my face was breaking out like crazy. And I was like, what is happening? Because that's the only thing I've changed is this doggone pill. And so I was like, okay, veganism is going to help with this. And so I cut out all that. I did all these cleanses and I was losing all this weight, but my skin was still breaking out. I was eating Uncle Eddie's vegan cookies. All of the wheat and sugar in that.
Yeah.
And so it took a friend of mine who had also gone through the journey, and a little blonde friend of mine in this boxing group I was in. And she was like, hey, you ever thought about cutting out gluten? And I was like, why? What does that do? She was like, that's what cleared up my skin. And I was like, are you serious? Because I done tried Proactive. I done tried all this stuff. Girl. I was about to get on the prescription thing that they want you to be on. Yes. But I was like, I don't want to put those chemicals in my body. Right. What's the point of me eating clean and then putting on something that's dirty? So I cut out gluten and everything went away. So basically what I learned is that, or at least for me, when you have something really salty, it'll make those tiny acne pimples. And then when you have something that's full of sugar, which gluten becomes sugar in your system, it makes the cystic acne. So those two things I had to get rid of.
All along the jawline. I have just recently discovered this. Mm-hmm. That I recently, when I was healing my gut, I realized I found out I had a celiac gene, which is why I was literally reacting, and I was like, oh dang, I was like, my body reacted as if I got celiac or something. and when we did a little test, and they're like, yeah, you do have a gene, I just don't have both of them, so that's probably why I didn't have like the most extreme, but I was still having like severe. The more I ate it, I realized like I was having severe reactions where it would be like 3 days I'm down. I can't move. I'm in excruciating pain. And it's almost like your stomach, it's not breaking anything down. So it's just like stuff is just like, you know what I mean? And it's just and it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. And I've been out to eat with people and been like, I gotta go. Oh my God. Like, and they're like, are you okay? I'm like, nope. And I'm like, they see like tears and I'm just like, I gotta go.
That's so sad.
It was so sad. But thank goodness, one of my friends, when I was at lunch with her one time, she's the one that made me pay attention to it, because she was like, do you have gluten sensitivity? Because I thought it was gluten sensitivity. Mm-hmm. And she was like, or do you have like celiacs? And I was like, actually, I don't know. And she was like, you'll know the difference, because gluten sensitivity is not going to make you, it won't do the same things as what will happen when you have celiac. Mm-hmm, and it's not about to make you just like be crippled, basically. It's crippling. So yeah, I hear you. But the acne, I have been struggling with cystic acne, and all along my jawline, it was for so long sugar and gluten for sure. Like, well, I got rid of the gluten, so for me it was the rest of it was sugar.
Well, usually, because there's a face breakdown map of acne and why it's there, usually sugar is around the cheeks. Hormones are here.
Oh, yeah, and the hormones. That was
And, you know, chickens and tofu and stuff might have more hormones than you need in it. And then around here is like breads. If you start to get them like in your temple, I don't remember what the forehead was. That one might be stress. But there's like face maps where you can figure it out. But as far as gluten is concerned, someone reminded me many years ago when I began this journey that when you make arts and crafts in school, paper mache, you would glue it on with water and flour. Glue, water, and flour, paste, pasta. You're changing the letter at the end from paste to pasta. So we're eating glue and wondering why we're bloated, wondering why it's not digesting, wondering why it's not breaking down, wondering why we're getting a stomachache. So when somebody told me that, I was like, oh my goodness, let me get rid of this. And so I will have a gluten-free version of it because I still like the foods, but still not that often because I don't try to do a lot of processed foods because that's a whole other problem.
That's a whole, oh my goodness. And then learning that when it comes to sugar with hormones, different things can cause that hormonal reaction. It's not, like when it comes to diet and like sleep, lack of sleep, that will cause those hormones, that spike in insulin, all those different things. I'm just learning all of this.
As a woman, especially, we have all these other hormones to worry about, and the older women get, the more the hormone thing gets imbalanced. It's a whole thing. It is
a whole thing. So that is a big part of what I'm actually actively dealing with right now. But I'm getting there. I'm almost there where I feel like by the end of this year, I should be fully clear.
Shondalia, who are you without a health challenge for us to talk about? It needs to be something new. This is the 2025 one. It's fine.
This is true. This is very, very,
you ain't gonna have no podcast if you heal everything. We got to keep the money coming in, sis. I mean, the acting and the voiceovers is fine. I like watching you on my TV. I like listening to you. But we need the podcast. So
we need the podcast. So does being plant-based mean beauty and fitness to you overall since you're an actor, or are you still in the middle of controlling any other ailments? Like you said, as our bodies change over the years, sometimes we can develop different things. I know I had like high cholesterol. I had like high blood pressure all of a sudden, and just different things that I had never dealt with. And so I was just wondering how your diet plays into that, if you've experienced any ailments or anything that made you add more restrictions to your plate.
I think as a woman, I'm learning now that I'm over 35, if I eat carbs later, that might bloat me. So I will watch that. But I don't really have any other ailments. I'm really, really in tune with my body, and I'm really all about healing myself. I only go to the doctor if I want them to run some kind of scan or do some blood work every so often, just so I can make sure what I'm doing is right. And when I look at people that I went to school with and what they look like at whatever age they are versus my age, I'm like, okay, I'm doing the right thing because I feel really good. I feel really energetic. My numbers are always really good, except one time I went and I had low vitamin D. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me handle that. Let me get some sunlight. Let me get the right mushrooms. I'm not going to take the chemistry made vitamin D. I'm going to do phyto, plant stuff, herb stuff. I'm really into everything natural, everything, Eastern civilization.
Go in depth with that.
I just love, I don't know. We all know Western civilization medicine is not to cure us. It's to keep us coming back. To keep us sick, to keep us on a prescription that has a side effect that makes us have another prescription that makes us have another side effect. And so we know the cycle, but we still, like, a doctor says, take it, we take it. No. So I'll go to the doctor and be like, is everything cool? And if there is ever a time where it's not cool, then I'll just be like, okay, let me make a note of that. And then I will go to an herbalist, or I'll go to vitamin shop, and I'll get the plant-based, or what do they call, phytonutrient version, or the herbal version of it, and, make sure everything is good. So I feel pretty healthy. I feel like I'm doing a good job. And if something goes wrong, like if I had a really bad dis-ease, I would probably go immediately like 100% vegan again, raw foods, fruit. Like I would be super, super strict and try my best to get rid of it before I had them doing anything to me for them to make money off of. I'm like, no, I want to heal, and I don't want a Band-Aid. I want to figure out what happened and get rid of it.
Yep. That's where I was. Goal. Yep. It took me 10 years, but, I got there. But because, like you said, when you go to the doctor, they want to they're like, you're fine. And you're like, no, I'm throwing up every day. Or like, you know, I can't be okay. Like,
why did that make me laugh? I'm throwing up every day. And they'll just tell you you're fine
like,
until they need to do surgery. You're fine, you're fine. Oh, now we need to cut on you.
Well, like,
wait a minute.
What?
What's in the middle here? We missed a step.
Remember when we kept just pacifying you with all those antibiotics? Now you have a cancer, a stomach one. So we got to remove it.
Yeah.
And we have to do an invasive one, not a non-invasive, actually.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. You're
well, they told us they call it practicing medicine. So they just trial and error. They just practice it.
Yeah. Once you realize that, you kind of, when I go to the doctor, I'm with them. I'm not just going, I already did research. I'm like, okay. And if I don't know, then I will go like, okay, can you elaborate a little bit more on this? Because sometimes they get to talking, depending on what doctor you're going to, they get to talking all fast and stuff. And you're like, okay, wait, no. Hold on.
Because they only have 10 minutes with each person. So they're like, okay, let me just, all right.
Now I'm going to make them spend more time with me.
I know, Shondalia.
They hate to see me coming. They like,
I was about to say they hate to see you coming because they don't want those questions and they don't want somebody who done went on WebMD and printed out a list of stuff. They don't want it. They don't want that. They want you to trust them for them to know what's going on. And
I even listen to the inconsistencies. I'm like, last time I was here, you said this, but this time you saying this.
I do that for my mom, and when my dad was alive, I did that for him. I would be the one who was like, no, this is what you told us last time. And no, he said the other doctor told him he didn't need that anymore. The other told him, but you got to be that person because you got to look out for you.
Yes.
They got a bunch of patients every day. You're the only one who really cares about you and your loved one, so you got to be the one paying attention.
Yeah, that's funny. I used to do the same thing when my dad was alive. He used to be like, Shondalia, this is not a debate. I'm like, but I'm not debating, but bear with me. Hear me out. Hear me out.
You loved him. You cared.
Hear me out. Like, he's like always, he's like, no, everything is not up for, just listen to what we saying. I'm listening. But just hear me out.
But hear me out.
He's like, funny. You a child.
A child who loves her daddy. Daddy's girl.
Yeah, I was a daddy's girl.
Okay.
Funny. Do you have any people that are usually really supportive of your diet when you were making those changes? I know you had your, at the time, boyfriend that was like huge, where you had someone to really help you make that transition. Mm-hmm. What about together, now? Do you feel like you have like support from friends or family or your husband now? Do you feel like, it makes it very easy for me to maintain this lifestyle?
It's so funny you asked that. When I first started, it was more made fun of to eat the way that I eat. And there was only one or two companies that made a vegan cheese. And there was like one or two companies that made a vegan burger. And when I would go to my family's house on Thanksgiving, they would be like, oh, we got you something. It would be iceberg lettuce and ranch dressing. And I'm like,
them dang on horrible salads that they think people want to eat. You don't even want to eat this shit. Why you think I want to eat this? Because I can't eat shit? That's why you think I want to eat this bullshit? No.
So, exactly. So that's literally why I started my Thanksgiving 20 years ago, because my aunt, who used to host it for the whole family, when she passed away from pancreatic cancer, her sons tried to take it over, and they cook amazingly, but they just didn't know how to make any of the vegetables without meat or any of the mac without dairy. And so they just offered me, that one cousin who I love so much, he's like a brother to me if he ever sees this podcast, no shade, but he didn't know any better. So I was hungry, and I was like, you know what? I sat there stewing in my chair hungry, and I was like, next Thanksgiving, I'm cooking, and anybody who wants to come to my house can come to my house. Right. And I created Friendsgiving before it was a thing. Yeah. And I was inviting friends who are in the industry who couldn't afford to go home for Christmas and Thanksgiving. So I was like, for Thanksgiving, just come with me. It'll just be me, my mom, my sister, and all the homies from Hollywood, all the comedians, and, Ian Edwards and people like that. Back in the day, Rich Pierre Louis would come to my house on Thanksgiving. And then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I had to learn how to make more and more food because I had a little apartment. 30 people, 40 people would show up every Thanksgiving. I'm like, where are y'all all going to fit? They didn't care because we had so much fun and the food was, they said it didn't taste vegan. And so to answer your question, it's gotten easier because now more people are aware of veganism. They've changed the name from veganism to plant-based. But there's restaurants that have the options on the menu. My husband loves my vegan cooking. He's not vegan, obviously, but he would prefer me to cook every night. He loves my cooking. And if I leave it up to him, he will go get a bacon double cheeseburger and chili cheese fries. But if he's home, he loves the plant-based stuff that I cook. He loves my soul food, my pastas, all that stuff. So I definitely have support. Anybody who made fun of me, what I've noticed is they eventually call me back to ask me, how do I get rid of such and such?
Yep.
Why my cootie cat stink? What I got to do?
Why my cootie cat stink?
I can't get rid of this cold. I've heard it all. I've had asthma since I was a little kid. What do I do? Why is my kid sick all the time? You made fun of me, but when you come back and need my help, I'm happy to give it. And that's how I ended up being a wellness consultant, because I was reading so many health books about, okay, let me help my friend with this. Let me tell her what to take, and let me figure out why her son is doing this. And so I've helped people get their kids off of inhalers, and I had a friend who couldn't travel out of the country with his job because his cholesterol was too high. So I figured out what he was having for breakfast every day, and we balanced that with we eliminated that, and I recommended some other foods for him. He got his numbers down, and he called me so grateful, like, I can finally go. And I was just like, God. He was like, where do I send the invoice? I'm like, I'm not even charging people. I just want us to be healthy and happy.
You like, just for the kindness. I'm like, girl, get that cash.
my friend's son he had a runny nose every night and could not sleep at night because he couldn't breathe. And the doctor just kept giving him more and more medicine. And she called me one day sad, like, I don't want to keep giving my 7-year-old all this medicine. I don't know what to do. And I recommended some stuff for her to stop giving him to eat and things to give him instead. And she called me within a day and a half, like, girl, this is the first time he slept through the night in months. And my doctor never told me to eliminate any of those foods. I'm like, yeah, why would they?
Bless.
Why would they tell you that? They don't learn nutrition. They learn medicine. They learn a chapter of nutrition. Everything else is, how do I get them to take this medicine or this surgery? So she was so grateful. She kept asking me how to pay me too. I'm like, girl, no, I just want your son to be able to sleep at night,
Bless.
So people have gotten more receptive to it over the years, to answer your question in the longest way possible.
No. Look, I appreciate it, though. That's good information. And because I was going to ask you how you got into basically doing that holistic stuff. But like you said, you were just doing research, reading a lot of books.
Or just calling me with questions.
I think you have a natural calling for it, too.
Thank you.
I think you do. You probably are like a natural healer. And don't, you know what I mean? I bet it's in you, because it's just part of it. It comes with it. So, yeah.
I think as women, if we tap into ourselves, our natural selves, we're nurturers and healers. That's what we're supposed to do. That was the whole witch hunt thing. Women who knew how to make a stew and a brew and a herb and give it to people and heal them, they were like, get her out of here.
Yeah, something wrong
She's
with
a
her.
witch, hang her at the stake. But I think if we allow ourselves to really pay attention to our bodies, we can heal ourselves and be our own little witch doctor.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm all about the witchy stuff. When it comes to the all of the herbs and the things, and because I'm all about the Eastern medicine, because that's basically what they're talking about, and it's pretty much what just everyone used to do all back in the day anyway.
Yes.
But like we're trying to have it kind of convert, but or at least meet us halfway.
Yeah,
over here.
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Just meet us halfway. At least let the insurance cover it.
Girl, I used to take acupuncture.
I'm doing that right now.
Isn't it great?
It's fantastic. It's been changing my life.
I love acupuncture. I used to go to this lady named Cindy, and what I loved about her, Chinese as she could be, she was one of the only acupuncturists that I could find that would take insurance back then. But what she would do, because our insurance will pay a portion and then make you pay a copay and then pay the rest of it, she would keep running it through her and the chiropractor next door until you didn't have to pay anything, because she understood that our insurance companies was on that BS. And I was like, I would drive all the way to Westwood to go to Cindy, because I was like, thank you for understanding that if I have insurance, why am I paying anything?
Yes.
What? So she got her, she was like, her and the chiropractor next door, they would just hook it up. I'm like, thank you, Cindy.
We ain't going to give you the location because we still want Cindy to do her thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you no more last names, none of that. But Cindy hooked it up. But I think now they allow it. Do they allow it now in health insurance?
They allow some of it. Like, not all of it, but it's like a little bit. I just went and tried to get some of it paid for it, and it's not everything. And they don't pay for the herbs either. See, and that's like the main thing that's
what helps.
It is healing me.
Yes. Good.
It is healing me. So I love it. I'm going to jump into the vegan festivals that you go to, because you even invited me to some. I'm never able to go, but I will go at some point. Okay. I really do. And I'm not going to be able to eat nothing, but I'm going to go. I'm going to go just for the experience.
Don't say that. They have a lady. They have fruit and stuff there.
We'll see. I'm very iffy. I usually get ill after stuff like that. So I'm like, nope. But I'll go just to be there. I
understand.
And I'll look like, oh, I love this. I would eat this. And I'll like take pictures of it. But
I would eat this. Is hilarious.
But I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to, I do not eat at food festivals. I am just like, ugh. And even though I used to love, like, one thing I used to love about any food festival was like the kettle corn. I loved kettle corn at I'm talking about any street festival in Detroit. I'm hitting up the kettle corn person. They had the best. So I love street festivals and stuff like that. And that's actually.
But you can't have that corn.
I can't.
That popcorn does not digest in your system.
Oh my gosh.
And doggone well the sugar and the salt. No.
That's one of my guilty pleasure foods that I suffer with sometimes. And I know good well, and I'll be like, don't buy it for some weeks. But then sometimes I gotta have it, and I'll have like it's gluten-free, but like you said, it's not good for me. Like I shouldn't eat it. I don't eat it all the time, but sometimes I'll find myself snacking on it, and girl, I can feel it go straight to my face. I be like itching. I'm like
the salt and the sugar.
Like,
Shondalia, that's the thing. We have to let ourselves have a little treat every now and then so that we're not miserable. That might have brightened your day, but you know, you won't eat the big tub of it that you might have eaten
I
years
can't
ago.
do it anymore.
But you can taste it and be like, okay, that did taste good.
Yep.
All right, let me give the rest away to this little boy walking by so that I don't mess my body up. But a little bit here and there, just so that you're not super strict about it. But know when you're eating it, your guilt won't even let you finish a lot of it most of the time. You're
not
like,
anymore.
I know better.
Yep, not anymore. You completely right. I do the skinny pop. The skinny pop olive oil popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
It's just olive oil and salt, but I love it. And people be like, it's so plain. I'm like, but I love it.
Don't let me get started on my kettle unsalted potato chips.
That's yours? That's your guilty pleasure? Oh my gosh.
No, that's not guilty because it's a potato chip with no seasoning. And CT, my husband, teases me because kettle chips are delicious. They have barbecue, they have honey Dijon, they have, salt and pepper vinegar. I get unsalted. It is the only chip that I found that actually tastes amazing. It tastes like you made them yourself, but there's nothing on them. The ingredient just says potatoes.
Oh, that's great.
So you get the fiber, you get whatever nutrients you're supposed to get in a potato, but there's no salt. There's nothing that's going to break me out and give me those little pimples or whatever. But he makes fun of me, like the way you're saying they talk about you and your plain flavored popcorn. There's nothing on those chips. But he's like, here go your flavorless chips, but they're good.
It's so funny. I had my mom came to visit and she was like, I was like, you want popcorn? Do you like anything on it? And this is at the time this is when I was still popping my own popcorn. I can't even do that anymore. Like for some reason, the skinny pop works for me. It doesn't, I can do a little bit and it doesn't cause a reaction right away. But when I had the little popcorn popper and I'm like, Mom, do you want anything in your popcorn? No, I'm doing, I don't do nothing. And I was like, okay, perfect. Cause I don't put anything on it. I'm just going to put a little olive oil on it. And a little salt. And then she got it and she was like, oh, I'm going to need something on it. I was like, Mama. you had to put something. I was like, Mama, you just said you put, but you ain't got no Himalayan salt.
She thought she was going to give her a little nutritional yeast, a little cheesy flavor,
She wants
something.
She wants something. She like, you ain't got, just put some seasonings on. I'm like, Mama, then you eat stuff on your popcorn. Stop saying.
She was probably expecting how it tastes on the microwave popcorn because you don't put nothing on it. When you pull it out, it already has a flavor.
You're right. Yeah, this not microwave. This is just this is like I bought the kernels and I'm throwing them in a blower and it's the air one too at that.
Oh, so that's so healthy.
It was super healthy.
So healthy. So healthy.
It was super. I can't even do that anymore. So I found the skinny pop and it's every blue moon guilty pleasure. With the vegan festivals though, what made you get into like the vegan festivals? Because you've even hosted stuff with them, right?
I have. What I know about myself is I love live events. I love live comedy, live music, live poetry, live sports, anything that's in person. And so I realized I love festivals because it's a live event. There's usually music playing. There's people, all around. It's just a good time. And so I heard about something called Vegan Street Fair years ago. And I was like, well, that sounds like something I need to be at. So it was in North Hollywood, which is in the valley where I live. And I went and it was this huge festival with like 100 different food trucks and vendors that had, clothes made of hemp and different candles and soy or coconut wax candles and just different health products. And I was like, oh my God, I love it here. So I was online, going live, telling everybody, you need to get here. This is great. I eventually found the person who created the whole thing, stayed in touch with her, went back the next year. Then it was so popular that she started to make it a monthly event. And I would go every month, and I would always go live and tell people to get there. And people would show up, oh, hi, Tanjareen, my name is blah, blah, blah. I saw your live and I came. And I'm like, yay.
Oh my God.
So they just got to know me, and I got to know her. And she made it a tour last year. So she was able to go to like 7 major cities with the Vegan Street Fair. And then the weekly one is called Vegan Exchange LA. It was actually, it was weekly for a couple years. And then it became popular for other people to have a lunch truck thing show up with a lot of vegan vendors on a Friday in downtown and on a Wednesday in this city. And it became too much competition. And then with the pandemic and people getting used to doing DoorDash, the turnout got low for the every Sunday one. So she stopped the every Sunday and went back to monthly. And actually it was supposed to be tomorrow, but because the rain is coming in LA tomorrow, they're going to postpone it till next week. But I just heard about it one year and just never stopped going. I love the people. I love the vibe. I hosted their Halloween costume contest this October. I've hosted on the stage because they'll do different influencers, because I'm also a social media personality. I don't like to say influencer because I don't want you to think I'm a role model, but I'm a social media personality, and I hosted on. Role model either. Don't do what I do unless it's helping you. But I was on the stage. I was on the stage for one of the events for like an hour, just took over the stage on a microphone and was leading dance contests and leading the wobble and cha-cha and all that stuff. Hey. But I just want to support my girl. Her name is Jessica Cruz. Go to Vegan Exchange LA or Vegan Street Fairs, 2 different Instagram pages, but she's always posting her events, and whenever she comes to your city, check her out.
Fantastic. And is there any last advice that you would give to anyone that is thinking about adapting a plant-based diet, or 80% vegan, 20% mind your business diet?
My advice for anybody that wants to adopt a plant-based lifestyle is to figure out why you want to do it, because if you don't have a why, the second somebody passes you by with some chicken wings, you're going to be like, well, I'm just have a couple. So figure out your why. Is it health? Is it animals? Is it, your gut? Because one thing with me is I had a bloating, and I used to go to the gym all the time, and I was working out and doing all these aerobics. I could not get rid of this bloating in my stomach. I was eating just chicken and fish and thought I was eating healthy. And when I went vegan, my stomach flattened. I was like, oh, it was just undigested animal products in my stomach this whole time. But if I had, so my second piece of advice is do a cleanse, because I started my journey with the 10 days of the master cleanse, but there's so many different types of cleanses. There's juice cleanses, there's herbal cleanses, there's colon cleanses. You can do the lemonade diet, but there's no food in it. It's just the lemonade. But your body craves whatever's in your bloodstream, which is also why I don't believe in cheat days, because if you have a whole day of cheating, your next day, you're like, oh, I really want a pizza again. I really want that ice cream again, because it's all in your bloodstream. So if you continue to eat healthy, your body craves smoothies. Your body craves salad. Your body craves a protein bowl. So if you do a cleanse, start over. If you do, your why, and then you do a cleanse, and then you can figure out how you want to eat and stick to it, your body will start to really want it and really crave it. And you would have changed your taste buds so that you're not wanting to eat how you used to eat.
That takes about 30 days, right, for your taste buds to change?
Well, it depends on the person, because some people say only 3 weeks. But for me, I only had 10 days to do the cleanse, and then I was off meat. And because I had a partner.
You're doing a full cleanse. I see.
Because I did a cleanse. I wasn't eating anything. So most people get off the cleanse and like, I can't wait to go back and get a steak and potatoes and mac and cheese. And if I had done that, I would have been back to eating the way I was eating and weighing what I was weighing with the same illnesses or whatever that I was going to be creating. So when I got off of it, I was like, I'm going to eat clean. And I was so skinny, Shondalia. When I got off that cleanse and was vegan for like the first year or two, I'm 5'9". I was like 121 pounds. I had
That's
no
small.
Curves.
Yeah.
I was wearing halter tops looking like a 12-year-old junior high girl. It was so crazy. I don't know why my boyfriend wanted me, but he was skinny too.
I don't know why he wanted me. Stop it.
We were skinny together. We were such hippies. We would go camping in Arizona, Sedona,
This was
Arizona.
a whole different era.
I was hippie-reen. It was hippie. Shout out to Hippie Goals. I was hippie-reen. But I started to eat brown rice and more bananas and different things to put the weight back on and got all these curves and all that. But
because now you voluptuous. Yeah.
I'm so thick now, but I think that's because that's the 20%. Mind your business, because I married a man from the Midwest, and then we would sneak off, and I would go get things that I wasn't supposed to eat. So there was a year where I was eating the big slices of cake from Ralph's at 2 a.m. because we was in Ralph's looking for food at 2 a.m. It wasn't vegan, and it was way too much sugar. And next thing you know, I needed to wear a Spanx for it for like a year. Now you a stallion. It's like, what is happening to me? But yeah, I'm back on my journey.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, so much talk about food. We're going to move on to our cooking segment. There's another way to do that. This is There's Another Way to Do That, where I teach you how to modify recipes based on my restrictions. For season 2, I'm modifying dishes based on my guests. It's inspired by them. And today we're doing tangerine. So, Tangerine, what is one of your favorite dishes?
My very favorite dish is vegan soul food. I love mac and cheese, yams, greens, some kind of vegan meat. That's what I normally make when I have my holiday parties. My second favorite is pesto pasta, and I make it with a gluten-free penne and a Italian sausage on top that is vegan. I do like a good one, like a tofurkey Italian sausage or something. I'll overcook it and slice it and put it on top. But that's one of my favorite things to eat, and it's hard to find a version of it where people didn't put dairy in it, so I end up making it myself. But I love it. I love eating it.
What do people usually get wrong when they do try to make it, besides throwing in dairy?
I had it one time with so much cream, and it was so creamy. I was like, this is soup at this point, sir. I want the pasta, and I want this to be a accent. The flavor should be an accent, not overbearingly. It was too light. It was too creamy.
That's the pesto that was
the
creamy.
Pesto sauce. It was just all over it. It was way too much, and I could feel it messing up my sinuses the next day. And I was like, I shouldn't have eaten this. But I try my best to buy it in different places. Like I'll go to a couple restaurants here in the Valley that make a vegan version of it, but it'll be dry. And I'm like, could y'all flavor this and put a little more sauce? So I'm like, you know what, Tangerine, this is your fault. This is why you have to cook yourself. Go in the house and make it yourself because you know how you want it and you season it. And I actually made it last week and I went live on YouTube and showed how I was making it.
How you were making it.
And Clayton had 3 plates of it. My husband had 3 plates of it that night. He was like, this is so good. I can't wait to eat this tomorrow. Trying to eat it the next morning. I said, boy, if you don't eat breakfast first. But that's one of the dishes I like. Why do dudes
do that? My husband does that too. He want to eat whatever I made him for dinner. He wants to eat it for like breakfast. I still want some of this. I'm like, no, because that's making my life harder. Eat breakfast food because that's easy. You learned how to make that when you were 7. You could do it or I could do it, but breakfast is easy. Let me get a break on dinner tonight because we're going to still have some left. Right. And you won't eat it up in breakfast. Right. Exactly. I heard that. And what are some of your favorite toppings or sides that you like to do with it?
I like to make a vegan garlic bread. So I'll have like either a gluten-free bread or a sourdough that's like fermented because that's the only thing that I can digest. And most people, it's easier for you to digest fermented bread. I know y'all ass can't have no bread, so I'm not even going to say that. But that's what I put with it. I put a vegan with some cheese on it, like a garlicky, cheesy bread, because that's what I missed when I would be able to eat it back in the day. And a really good salad. I love a good salad. I think if people knew how to make a good salad, they would enjoy them and start to get that in their bloodstream and enjoy them much more. So I'll make a good salad to go with it. And it's a nice little balanced meal.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's a nice little balanced meal. Ooh, I love that. How do you think I will do making my version of it? I'm going to make something inspired by this. So what do you think? How do you think I will do?
I think you'll do a great job because you're actually a really good cook. From the things that I've seen you post, I'm like, okay, that looks really good. The presentation is nice. The bone I want to pick with you is that I don't get to taste the food that you're cooking. And I'm like, what kind of...
I will give you some.
What kind of cooking show is this? When you asked me to the show, I thought I was coming to your house. We both live in the Valley. I was going to be in your kitchen. We was going to be cooking together. I was going to get to eat the food when you was done.
She checked me on it. She like, can I get the dish?
What kind of cooking segment is this? Where you going to have me salivating looking at you make it and I don't get none of it? And we both live in the Valley. So can I be the one guest that you have that we can meet halfway and I can get the food?
Yeah, I'll make sure I make you a dish. I'll make you some of it for sure. Yes.
It's supposed to be for me.
inspired by you. You like this for me, all the food. I want my plate.
Let's break bread together.
Yes,
let's break bread together.
How about that? That's what. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that with you. Yes.
So Shondalia and I did lunch. We're so Hollywood. Yes. We did lunch a couple weeks ago in front of a fireplace at a little cafe that all the Hollywood writers go to. It was so nice, and we both found things we could eat on the menu because she had to study the menus before we could choose what we was gonna eat. She was like, "Hold on, I gotta tell you if I can find anything to eat there," and I was like, "I know."
I'm the worst to go places with. I don't even go anymore. I be like, just forget it, because I'm going to just show up. Most of the time I just show up. And people be like, what is going on? And I'm just like, I just to bypass all that other stuff, I'll be like, I'm just not going to
go. But I eat so similar that I understand. I'm like, okay, I also want something that's mostly plants. You eat meat, but you're not trying to eat a bunch of dairy. You're not trying to eat gluten. You're not trying to eat bread. So we can find things, similar to eat. So
yeah, and I try to eat cleaner meats and lean meats. I used to be vegan. I couldn't, and I can't do vegan based on the stuff that was going on with me. That's why I stopped being vegan. But yeah, we do eat fairly similar, so it will end up working out. All right, we'll be right back with Shondalia's Inside Scoop after this month's There's Another Way to Do That cooking segment. Be sure to check out how I modified Tangereen's favorite dish on my YouTube channel. The link is in the description. Up next, Shondalia's Inside Scoop. This is Shondalia's Inside Scoop, where my life is a trivia question. You've heard of those food trivia shows. Well, this gets personal. Let me know if you can guess what's true. All right, the game is simple. I'll ask you 3 questions based on my own personal health and wellness or things I like, and you'll let me know how well you know me based on how you answer. So let's get into that. Tangereen, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, question number 1. What's my favorite water-based veggie? A, bell peppers. B, broccoli. C, tomatoes. D, cucumbers.
Broccoli's not water-based. Tomatoes and cucumbers are technically a fruit because they have seeds, so I guess I'll say bell pepper. That was the first one?
You are incorrect. You got real technical, and I love it. I love how
if you had said zucchini actually, the choice, I'd have been like zucchini. Okay, go ahead. Tell me how I'm wrong.
But zucchini is actually one of them, but I had to make it more difficult because that's too obvious. So it is actually D, cucumbers.
That's not a vegetable though.
But it's
definitely water-based, but it's a fruit.
We use it as a vegetable. It's just like tomatoes. Everybody uses tomatoes as a veggie, not a fruit.
But they all know it's a fruit.
But it's a fruit.
Okay. Well, all right,
you
fine.
were close. You were just very technical and very knowledgeable. We not. But she is.
But I do know cucumber would have been the answer, but I thought it was a trick question because it's a fruit. But okay, fine.
No, it's okay. I can't eat bell peppers, just by the way, which is why I can't eat a lot of stuff. They give me inflammation. And I used to love bell peppers. And I ate a lot of them, and it was one of the reasons I tore my gut lining up.
All right.
Yay.
Not yay to the torn up gut lining. Yay, ulcers.
Question number 2. True or false? I eat at Doomy's Home Cooking in Hollywood once a month on a cheat day.
I hope not. Doomy's is so much junk food. Everything is fried. They have fried Oreos. They have, oh my gosh. Once a month on a cheat day is aggressive.
So true or false?
Hold on. I'm about to give you an answer. It's going to be wrong because...
Don't second guess yourself. Just do it.
I'm going to say no because that's aggressive, but...
Yes, you are correct. I ain't going they ain't going to do me for that reason. I'm like, you already know these answers. You second guessing yourself.
That's inside baseball, ladies and gentlemen. Doomy's is a vegan fast food place in Hollywood.
It's a fast food place in Hollywood. Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Open very late, but they don't even have a salad on the menu anymore.
No.
Everything is fried.
Everything's fried. It's junk food, but it's good for people that like that junk food vegan stuff. Mm-hmm. But I can't. No, there's no way I can even attempt to go there. I would be like, I'll be gone. All right, you're doing good. 1 for 1. One more question. What sweeteners do I use? A, cane sugar. B, agave. C, honey. D, stevia.
This is a great question because I have no idea. I'm going to say no to cane sugar because that's the most aggressive of the sugars you listed. Agave seems the safest. Honey, I hope you're not using honey because that's what breaks people out too if it's not the raw unfiltered one. And what's the fourth? Oh, stevia is processed, but people put in a lot of health things. Dang, I'm just going to have to pick one, but I literally have no idea. I'm going to say agave because of its low glycemic index.
You are incorrect. I do use honey.
That's terrible. That's breaking you out.
Listen, I had to stop. I had to cut all my sugar. Like just recently. I just told you I just was learning. Oh my gosh. And it's really hard to find that unfiltered one like you were saying. But I do use it. I'm guilty. I actually use honey.
I had to learn the hard way because honey is already processed. By the time they serve it, it's almost like having regular sugar. If you don't find the raw unfiltered one that's kind of stiff.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I did find some. You're right. I did start using, but we have both.
Okay.
I try to stick to that raw one, like you said, the stiff one, the raw unfiltered. And honestly, it tastes better.
It does. And Manuka honey, which is much more expensive, is so healthy for you.
Really?
It's so good for you.
Okay,
it might be like $24 for a little jar, but you can find a cheaper version of it at Trader Joe's. But it's so good for, as a voice artist, it's great for your throat. It's great to put in your teas. It's great if you're not feeling well. It's very healing. I'll allow that, but you didn't say what kind of honey. You just said honey, and I don't need you. I don't want you having regular honey.
Yes, look, how Tanjareen on my game show telling me what I don't need to be doing. Because she's an advocate. She's an advocate. That's why. I love it. Tell me, girl. Because I just learned something. I'm going to go get that dang on honey. I am. I'm going to spend like $30 for this dang on honey. I'm only going to use it to warm up my throat.
That's what I use it for. Exactly.
I stopped putting it in foods, though. I'm at least that far. I'm in increments right now.
Okay, good. It's baby steps. It's fine.
Baby steps. Well, Tanjareen, unfortunately, was not ready to take a bite out of my story, y'all. She was not ready. She was very technical and very fun, but she just didn't deliver fully. Better luck next time. But you gave me some great tips. But she was giving some great tips, though, along the way, right?
You're welcome.
Check me out next time for another Shondalia's Inside Scoop. Let's wrap this thing up. I hope this episode gave you a little more insight into what it's like living that plant-based lifestyle and just like all around food education, because Tanjareen gave us a lot of little tips here. So I know you had to not know something because I didn't know some of the things, and I appreciate it. And like I always say, y'all, take care of your body so it can take care of you, or you're going to be dealing with a lot of shit. Tanjareen, thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure. I've been looking forward to this. This was a fun conversation with friends.
Thank you. It was so fun. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh, find me on Tanjareen, spelled like spelled like this. And I'm at Official Tanjareen on Facebook and Instagram, and regular Tanjareen without the official in front of it for everything else.
She has a plaque with it on there already. Not that I'm going to have it on screen, but you already prepared for the people that don't do this type of stuff.
Oh, yeah. And it's also because I did it during the pandemic when I was hosting so many live shows and stuff. But yeah, Official Tanjareen on Instagram and Facebook, regular Tanjareen on YouTube and X. And I just joined Fanbase because it's Black owned. I have a couple movies coming out this year on the All Black channel and on BET. One's called Hands, one's called Onyx. And I do a Marriage Go Round podcast with my husband every Wednesday live at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern.
Awesome. Thank you again for being here. This is so fun. I appreciate you so much.
My absolute pleasure. Love you so much.
Love you. This has been I Can't Eat Shit podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I so appreciate you all. If you like what you saw and or heard today, go ahead and like, share, subscribe. I Can't Eat Shit podcast on YouTube or wherever you stream your podcast. If you watch me, there's bonus material. there's another way to do that. My full cooking segment, where I teach you how to modify recipes based on my restrictions. They're oh so good, so make sure you check them out. And for season 2, I have my guests doing their commentary along with me. And for Tanjareen's episode, she gonna get to eat some. Okay? You can also check me out on Instagram at I Can't Eat Shit Podcast or at Shondalia White. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. I Can't Eat Shit! I Can't Eat Shit Podcast is not a replacement for a medical professional. If you need help, seek out a trained medical professional, nutritionist, or therapist to help you with your specific needs.